Um, so I made this at the art teacher conference thing, and I made it using a different method for making lids. But this texture I got on here was with a wooden bead that just had like random marks carved in it, and then I got it spinning and went over it a lot. The bead itself would be pretty easy to make. It didn't even have to be very consistent. It didn't even have to be very consistent patterning. Like I just kind of repeated until I liked the way it looked. This is a good example, right? That's okay, but I actually really kind of like this, right? It's a little more layered, and I mean, at the same time, it's being a lot easier to make because it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Trying to get a perfect line across there, if you wiggle it or move too fast or whatever, you messed up your lines, and you're like, oh, okay, let me get that back in there, and oh, I didn't quite, oops, is that the wrong way? I don't know, I did something weird. But you know, you just kind of go over it a bunch. And so all it was a bead, and you could make one out of clay. You just get a ball of clay, make some marks in it, and then you poke a hole through the middle. So it looked something like this. And then it was actually on like a paper clip when I used it. It was, or a bent piece of wire. It wasn't any official tool. And it just had little marks like this in it. They weren't very clean or precise or anything like that. But then when you rolled it across, it made, and that the circle meant you could kind of tip it and get any particular angle you wanted. And so, you know, like it was a wheel tool was the best way to use it. The way I liked using it was on the wheel, but it was really easy to hand make. And so making some tools is a good use. I showed real quick how to make a simple stamp like the one I just dropped into a pile of sawdust, and it squished the part that was worth showing you. So that's garbage. But anyway, I showed a bunch of other things. I'll just have you watch that video instead of doing it all now. In the meantime, be gathering up things around your house, looking around for things, part of your studio space. Could be an image of a bunch of tools that you came up with on your own, credit cards. Obviously, don't use a credit card, especially if you're taking any pictures of it that's active or shows the numbers, but this is just a Maverick card. They have them at Maverick. You just pick them up. You say take one, so I did. It's free. And I'm sure your parents have an old, you know, grocery store card or something that they don't use anymore. Subway, whatever. But those work great for a number of things, and I showed some of that in the video. So yeah, let me